Greg Gumbel, legendary CBS broadcaster, passes away at 78. It is with heavy hearts that we share the news of the passing of Greg Gumbel, the beloved CBS broadcaster who made an indelible mark on sports broadcasting. Greg died on Friday at the age of 78, following a courageous battle with cancer. His family issued a heartfelt statement, remembering him not only for his professional achievements but also for his strength and positivity throughout his illness. It is with profound sadness that we share the passing of our beloved husband and father, Greg Gumbel. He passed away peacefully, surrounded by much love after a courageous battle with cancer. Greg approached his illness like one would expect he would, with stoicism, grace, and positivity. Marcy and Michelle Gumbel. Greg Gumbel leaves behind a monumental legacy in the sports world, having spent over 50 years in the broadcasting industry, becoming a voice that fans across the country grew to recognize and trust. His family added, he leaves behind a legacy of love, inspiration and dedication to over 50 extraordinary years in the sports broadcast industry, and his iconic voice will never be forgotten. A storied career across major sports. Greg's illustrious career spanned across CBS Sports, where he was a fixture for more than 2 decades, providing coverage for both the NFL and college basketball. He became a trusted face on the broadcast team, either as a host or in the booth, always bringing his signature style to each event. Greg retired from NFL coverage in 2022, but continued his involvement in college basketball coverage until 2023. One of the major milestones in his career was his groundbreaking achievement as the first black broadcaster to call play-by-play in a major American sports championship, when he called Super Bowl 35 in 2001. His contributions to sports broadcasting also included calling games for MLB, the NBA, and the Winter Olympics, as well as providing coverage for NASCAR and the World Figure Skating Championships. Over the years, Greg's work covered almost every major sport in America, from the NFL to the NBA to college hoops, always with professionalism and grace. Greg's career was one that many in the sports broadcasting world admired and aspired to. He started his career at WMAQ-TV in Chicago, before working at ESPN, where he anchored SportsCenter in the early days of the network. His journey took him to MSG Network, CBS, and NBC, and he eventually returned to CBS, cementing his place as a true legend of sports media. Tributes pour in for Greg Gumbel. Following the news of his passing, tributes from peers in the sports media world flooded in, praising Greg not only for his unparalleled skill as a broadcaster but also for his warmth, kindness, and generosity as a person. Colleagues fondly remembered him as a trailblazer in the industry and someone who made a lasting impact on everyone he worked with. A legacy remembered. Greg Gumbel's legacy will live on, not just in his remarkable broadcasting career, but in the hearts of all those who admired him, his family, friends, colleagues, and fans. His voice will forever echo through the world of sports, a symbol of dedication, professionalism, and love for the game. Rest in peace, Greg Gumbel. Your legacy will never be forgotten. This Saturday, the NFL has set up an intriguing tripleheader with playoff implications on the line in 3 matchups. Let's take a look at what's at stake in each game. Chargers at Patriots. Los Angeles can clinch a playoff spot. The Los Angeles Chargers are in a familiar position, fighting for a playoff spot, but this time they're hoping to make a deeper run than in previous years. After their heartbreaking collapse in the 2022 wildcard round, they'll look to avoid repeating history by clinching a postseason spot with a win over the 3-12 New England Patriots. If the Chargers win, they're in, unless a Dolphins loss combined with a Colts loss or tie changes things. But a direct win would be the ideal path to secure a spot. The Patriots, despite their rough season, continue to play hard and are coming off a close 24-21 loss to the Bills. While New England may not have much to play for, their strong effort in the face of adversity could make this an interesting matchup. Broncos at Bengals. Cincinnati's slim playoff hopes. The Cincinnati Bengals' playoff hopes are hanging by a thread, with their 7-8 record making it a long shot to qualify. Cincinnati can still stay in the race with a win over the Denver Broncos, but they'll need a lot of help from other teams. Joe Burrow's MVP-caliber performance this season has been a silver lining. with the quarterback leading the league in passing yards and touchdowns. However, their defense has been inconsistent, and they're now relying on winning out and hoping for other results to go their way. On the other hand, the Broncos are in a much more secure position. At 9-6, Denver can clinch a playoff berth with a win or tie, marking their first postseason appearance since 2015. A key matchup to watch will be Broncos cornerback Patrick Surtain II, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, facing off against Bengals receiver Jamar Chase, who has a strong case for NFL Offensive Player of the Year. Cardinals at Rams. Rams can move closer to NFC West title. The Arizona Cardinals have already been eliminated from playoff contention, but they can still play the role of spoiler. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Rams are fighting to lock up the NFC West title. Although the Rams can't clinch on Saturday due to Seattle's Thursday win, a victory against the Cardinals would put them in a strong position heading into the final week of the season. With a 9-6 record, the Rams have surprised many by remaining in the division race despite an early 1-4 start to the season and injuries to key players like Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. If the Rams win, they will need some help to secure the division title, but it will put them in a favorable position. The Cardinals, on the other hand, are playing for momentum and trying to build a foundation for next season. Quarterback Kyler Murray and star receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. will look to establish a better rapport in the final games of the season. Key takeaways. Chargers at Patriots. The Chargers are aiming to clinch a playoff spot with a win, but the Patriots will try to play spoiler. Broncos at Bengals. Cincinnati's playoff hopes are hanging by a thread, while the Broncos can clinch a spot with a win. Cardinals at Rams. The Rams are looking to move closer to clinching the NFC West, while the Cardinals are trying to build momentum for next year. It's shaping up to be a thrilling Saturday with playoff implications, so make sure to tune in to all 3 games on NFL Plus or NFL Network. Browns restructured Deshaun Watson's contract for cap flexibility amid uncertainty. The Cleveland Browns have once again restructured quarterback Deshaun Watson's contract to create salary cap space and future flexibility. According to an anonymous source, this restructuring comes after Watson's disappointing tenure in Cleveland, where he's played just 19 games over 3 seasons due to a combination of injuries and a suspension. The deal, which originally set Watson up with a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract, has now been adjusted to help the team manage the cap. Key changes in Watson's contract. Voided year added. A voidable year has been added to Watson's contract for 2028, which allows the Browns to spread out his salary cap hit after the 2026 season. This change gives the team more cap flexibility in future years. Cap impact. Watson's contract still includes 2 years remaining with an average salary of $46 million per year and a salary cap hit of $72.9 million for those 2 seasons. However, the restructuring helps manage the long-term cap burden. Impact on the team. Future flexibility. The restructure does not prevent the Browns from exploring options at quarterback in 2025. Potentially even in the first round of the draft, where they have not had a pick the past 3 years due to their trade with the Houston Texans to acquire Watson. Browns struggles. Watson's time with the Browns has been underwhelming, with the team failing to live up to expectations this season. Watson has not yet thrown for 300 yards in a game for Cleveland, and his performance has often been criticized for inconsistency and struggles in the pocket. Watson's current situation. Injury recovery. Watson is recovering from a ruptured Achilles tendon, for which he had surgery in October. He is expected to make a full recovery and is likely to be the starter for the Browns in 2024. He has not spoken to the media for months but recently shared a post on Instagram showing him standing without a walking boot, signaling progress in his recovery. Myles Garrett's comments. Team uncertainty. Following the Browns' disappointing season, defensive star Myles Garrett voiced concerns about a potential rebuild in Cleveland and requested clarity on the team's plans, especially regarding the quarterback position. Garrett clarified that he had discussions with the team's front office about his future and the team's direction. The Browns' restructuring of Watson's contract aims to alleviate some of the financial pressure while keeping their options open for both the short and long-term future of the franchise. However, Watson's performance and health will remain key factors in the team's success moving forward. Bears interim coach defends timeout strategy in loss to Seahawks. I just changed my mind. The Chicago Bears' 6-3 loss to the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday featured a critical sequence of poor time management and decision-making, which left many questioning the coaching staff, particularly interim head coach Thomas Brown. With 5:12 remaining, the Bears had an opportunity to either tie or take the lead. But instead, their drive was marred by several frustrating moments. After a successful run that gave the Bears a first down with 4:17 left, the drive stalled due to poor execution, including a failed pass attempt and another scramble. By the time the Bears faced a 4th and inches situation at their own 38-yard line, the clock had run down to 2:12. At this point, the Bears' timeout strategy came under scrutiny. Brown initially decided to go for it on 4th down, but after a false start penalty, he called for the punt team, used a timeout, and then changed his mind, opting to send the offense back out instead. The sequence wasted critical time, 40 seconds between 3rd and 4th down, and forced the Bears to burn their first timeout. After that, a second timeout was used due to confusion at the line of scrimmage when the Bears lined up for a 2nd and 10 in Seattle's territory. Despite having all 3 timeouts left and the 2-minute warning, the Bears couldn't capitalize. Brown's decision to go for it on 4th down, rather than attempting a 58-yard field goal, a career long for kicker Cairo Santos, also raised questions. In his post-game comments, Brown denied any confusion in his decision-making, claiming he simply changed his mind and was trying to be more aggressive. However, his explanation left many frustrated, especially considering the wasted time and poor execution that contributed to the Bears' continued struggles. The game ended with an interception by Caleb Williams, sealing the Bears' 10th straight loss and their final home game of the season. Brown's decisions and the team's inability to manage the clock effectively only added to the sense of despair for Bears fans, especially with just one game left on the schedule against the Green Bay Packers next Sunday.